Thanks,
So let
Mom.
me introduce you to
Thank you.
Eden Shireen. You may see her on Instagram and where else? Where else can people see you, Eden?
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook. If you just Google my name, everything thankfully pops up.
Awesome. So she's at the top of the Google
Yep, Apple
list.
Music, iTunes, Spotify, anything else kids are using these days that I don't even know about, it's probably there.
Awesome. So what I'd like to do today, we talked a little bit already, but for those who are watching now and tuning in, so this is an interview process that I've been doing and I've kind of refined it over the last month or so. And I'm really, really excited to have you on
Thank
because
you.
I have a lot of different people that I've interviewed, from PhDs in music
Mhm.
to Broadway stars to choral, three-time Grammy nominated choral
That's
singer and
amazing.
professor at UCLA. So, I have the gamut of types of genres of music. And one of the things that a lot of people talk about is, should I go to school for music? Which I did. I
Mhm.
I didn't know I wanted to go to school for music, actually. I wanted to,
Mhm.
I was actually going to be an engineering major and I just wasn't great at math. But
Oh
what
my
I
gosh.
found out was, as I was studying music, I got really good at math. So what I decided was that I wasn't going to be an engineering major. I was going to be a music major. So that to me was like the aha moment. If I'm doing good,
Mhm.
I knew the correlation was math and music. I knew.
Mhm.
So I ended up going to school for music, and I
Mhm.
loved music school. I had really great experiences, but, and I say but lightly because I do agree with music school,
Mhm.
but is the academia does not necessarily get you the gig. And
Mhm.
that's something that I had to personally learn, and it took me several years
Mhm.
out, where,
Mhm.
someone like you, which I
Mhm.
want you to talk a little bit about your education and
Sure.
your background, who is doing it out there, the information that you can provide to singers
Mhm.
that will allow them to see that they don't necessarily need a degree in music to make it work for them.
Mhm.
Um, to me, this is why I'm doing my membership. Like I said
Mhm.
earlier, I'm doing this membership for the sake of people who want to learn the things that they need to learn in school, but also really need to learn in the real world of singing and performing.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So that said, I want you to talk a little bit about your education and your background.
Sure. Yeah. So I started doing music around 16. I decided to show my mom and my dad my little book of poetry. I was big into books. I loved reading. I loved getting lost in a world that wasn't my own. And there was something so magical just about reading stories. And I started writing poetry, not really knowing what I was doing. And then decided, hey, you know what? Wait a second. I love music. I love lyrics. Wait a second, poems or lyrics. And it kind of, I had this like epiphany. And so I took my little book of lyrics to my parents and I was like, hey, I really want to make this music. Because at 16 years old, your job at Publix is just not going to pay for that. Um, it just wasn't at the time. And I wanted to know that they had my support, or that they had support for me and what I wanted to do. So we had a family friend who knew of a studio in Orlando, and that's when it kind of started. So I wrote my two records. The first one was in high school. The second one's shortly after. Came out with both of those, and I was completing my associate's degree while doing my second album. I have my associate's degree in business. I'm actually now, thank you COVID, pursuing my bachelor's degree in business. We have a lot of time on our hands, so I was like, you know what? I'll go back to school. Why
Yes.
not? I got the Pell Grant, so thank God for that, and I'm able to finish. I'll be graduating next December, not in music. So that's the funny thing. Going
Yeah.
back to your question, not in music. It's just in business, with a concentration in marketing. So I absolutely love all of that world as much as I love the creative world. I think that those are so interconnected. Um, and then my journey between that first album and now has been crazy. So yeah, it's a wild ride, this whole entertainment world, but no formal education on my hands as it relates to music. It's all just been, um thank God for the internet. I taught myself how to play guitar, started learning cover songs, and that really gave me the framework to start writing my own music, once I knew what a G chord was and a C and a D, I could kind of figure it out from there. So
And so, yeah, now you'll understand, like, there is definitely value in knowing an instrument as well. So you
truly.
can create so much more with when you understand the rhythm, when you understand the, the melodies and the
Hmm.
different chord structures that you're doing, and having it on guitar is actually great because it's mobile,
It's much better.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm finding value though in wanting to learn the piano. I absolutely have been. There's something whispering in my ear as I lay down to go to bed. You need to learn piano. So I have been struggling with deciding to pick that up next. And I think that that will probably be the next investment. But it is very nice to have a mobile guitar. That is
Yeah.
definitely wonderful. You can play anywhere. You don't need an outlet.
Well, I think most singers now, I don't play guitar, but my father played guitar.
Hmm.
I do play a little bit of piano, so for me,
Hmm.
that's been because I went to school, it's one of the requirements in school is you have to take 2 years of piano, so I
Hmm.
realize the value of having that, you know, underneath me now and having that experience now.
Hmm.
But back then I was just like, "I just wanna sing. I don't
Right. I
I
know.
don't want theory thing," but
Well,
now,
I think
you
mhm.
realize the value.
Yeah, and I think too for me it was about, okay, well, I have these songs that I'm writing and I have these things that I want to turn into songs, these poems. For me it was about being able to play live as well. Um
Aha.
monetary value, right? Like I'm like I need to make money. I want to make money doing this. I need to be able to play shows to make money. So that was also the big push, and it was really validating when I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm making music," and I recorded it on my phone. I was like, "Oh, it doesn't sound bad."
So are
Oh, it was
you
really funny.
playing your guitar in the shows now, in your shows?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So if you ever come to any of my shows, you can find them on my website too. You can go to the little shows tab or find my social media. They're usually linked there. I will play at the Hard Rock here in Tampa. I play at the Strauss Center. Ron John Surf Shop, funny enough, which you wouldn't think, in Clearwater, they would have me play just about every month. A few local places in Tampa that I had recurring gigs at, the Rusty Nail. So yeah, a lot of local shows here in Tampa. I also play out in Nashville whenever I go there. If I can pick up a little show, I usually try to. So, or open mics. So, but yeah, you'll
Okay,
see me toting my guitar.